Yesterday I had a pretty fun day. I went to a day club here in New York City, but I stopped at my friend David's apartment and dropped my bag off at his place before we went. Unfortunately, he left early to go to dinner with some of his college friends, which means my bag is still over at his place. So I have a video that I need to record. We need to talk about a specific topic that actually kind of relates into yesterday, and we might as well go say hi to him in the process and grab my shit. I'm not gonna dox his location and say where this is, but I'll obviously still have some B-roll footage. But he still lives in Midtown, so it's actually not that bad of a walk. It's probably about, I don't know, 30 minutes if I'm stopping to record here and there, but overall, not too bad. A nice easy stroll on what is a beautiful Saturday here, or Sunday, yeah, Jesus, it's Sunday already, on Memorial Day weekend. It just occurred to me that I might have to actually explain to some people the difference between a day club and a nightclub for those that haven't gone out or don't do this type of stuff. A nightclub, obviously, darker place, music, depending on your preference, can be EDM, can be rap, could be whatever you want it to be, but it's loud music, lots of drinks, dancing, and having a good time. A day club is a little bit different. It's basically outside, there's typically a pool and some sort of dance floor, so there's still DJs going, good music playing, but you have the option to vibe by the pool, relax, still drink, or you can go hard on the floor and dance. The other question I get, why do you go to day clubs and nightclubs a lot when you're married? Because I enjoy that scene. I'm not out there to flirt with anybody. I'm there to go and have a good time, to dance, to enjoy good music. And quite frankly, I've always preferred day clubs over nightclubs. I went to one in Atlantic City called HQ2 to see Medusa. And then I obviously been to the one for the first time yesterday here in New York City, and it was just a blast. Everybody was chill, having a good time. Obviously some people getting a little bit rowdy, but for the most part it was pretty tame. A lot more tame than a nightclub where people start pushing and shoving. It's just the nature of a day club. You're outside, you have more space. It's a lot of fun. It will never not be sad to me to see the Majestic Theater dark. For those that don't know, this is where Phantom of the Opera used to be, and now it's just nothing for now. Now, to answer the question that might be on some people's minds, how much did I spend at the day club? Well, luckily, I don't drink all that much, and it only costs $25 to get in, so $25 plus 3 drinks at a $20 price point cost me $85 for what was 8 hours of a ton of fun. I'd say worth it. Now, while myself and the 3 other people that I went with did have to pay to get in, you could tell there were some people that didn't pay to get in there. If you looked around at the different cabanas and tables that were there was a combination of 2 different groups of people. One, bigger groups that were celebrating something, whether it was a bachelor party, friends in town, they want to take them out for a good experience. But there was also 1 or 2 other ones that you could always tell. It's the people on their phone a little bit more than the rest that might be working on some sort of content, and that's because it's the influencers, the content creators that get invited out to just be there to promote it on social media, whether it's Instagram, whether it's TikTok, or any other platform. They don't pay to get in, they pay in exposure. I've heard that sometimes these clubs will pay for high-end influencers to go there, but I don't think many do. Just get them in for free, and it's an experience that I'd imagine most people want to be a part of anyways. But those influencers and content creators are kind of important because they raise awareness. While local New Yorkers might know about that spot, the content creators have an audience that's obviously much deeper and will expose the place to more people, leading to more business, and it's overall a fair trade for everybody. And that is exactly what's happening with Disguised Host entering the NACL and possibly more influencers coming into the scene. Now, we don't know what the landscape is going to look like in 2024 as the NACL continues to go through changes, but one thing is clear in all of esports: influencers and the rise of content creator-led orgs or content creator partner orgs is here to stay. We saw early signs of that with Optic and 100 Thieves as they were built around personalities like Scump, like Nadeshot, except they were still the traditional brand, but now you're seeing teams like Moist Esports with Moist Critical and Ludwig. You're seeing Disguised Toast. Like, these are directly like influencers attaching their brand directly to an esports organ, like being the face of it. And that is going to be here to stay for a little while. It also sounds like there's going to be more people like Tyler One and others potentially getting into this, but we'll get into that in a second. I got to grab my bag as we're almost at David's place. God, you said that on camera, you fucker. What's up?
Anyway, it's flash disguised as like sunscreen or like fucking.
I feel like they've seen that before, though. There's no way you get away with that.
You think so?
Yeah, 100%. You're not dumb.
They're really.
You really think you're the first person that's ever thought of bringing a flask disguised as sunscreen? Really? Come on.
Wait, hold on.
I'm gonna break this table if I sit on it. When are we going to the day club again?
Whenever the hell we want.
Exactly.
Woo!
Adios.
All summer long.
Adios, David.
Adios, amigo. Hasta la vista.
See you. Do I need to? I freaking love that guy. So, back to the influencer point. If Tyler One, if Ninja, if all these people were to sign their own teams at say $2,000 per player, so what, like 10 grand per month per team, could that save the LCS? Well, no, obviously, because there's no guarantee that those teams would be able to stay in the NACL via like the open qualification and promotion relegation that exists. They could be incredible stories, but what I think this trend does point towards is something that I've been pushing for a while, which is every LCS team should have influencers on board that are true fans of the team that can help promote them, that can help co-stream and do all of these things that exactly what Disguised Host and all the others would do via the system in the NACL. They basically do it for the LCS in the same way that Tarek watches the VCT, in the same way that Nadeshot will watch it as well. You help promote it and you give fans this funnel to become a fan of the team through people, because in today's day and age, especially given the recent decisions of everything, it's just going to be harder and harder to get people to be fans of just teams unless they have like a sports background or something that they naturally do that in. So what I want to do is I want to pick one influencer to pair with each organization that I feel like could co-stream week in and week out, or just be like a voice of the fan, all things considered. Cloud9, I will say, I don't really think anybody. I think they're big enough to, at this point, where they don't really need it. And to my knowledge, there's nobody that really represents Cloud9 in that way, unless you did Sneaky and Meteos, but both of them are too big at this point to go with Cloud9. So I think C9 is actually like fine on their own for now, and I just can't think of anybody. For Team Liquid, you have both Broxa and Whippo that are a part of the org doing content with them. Them live viewing games would actually be great. It's kind of similar to what Cagel's doing, actually, especially for Whippo, who people obviously like on the LCS broadcast. But what if you threw in Siege with him? Smaller streamer, but diehard TL fan, and has been for a long period of time. Dedicated Twitch streamer, dedicated TikTok content creator. I think you pair them up. Obviously, Siege would love that because he's with people that were important to the TL organization and helping watch their games that he's probably going to watch anyways, but also helps promote them. For NRG, Sapnap. I don't think there's any reason to have anybody else pair with them. But as of right now, I don't think there's really a voice of NRG League of Legends, and given that they're so new, might be a little bit tough to find somebody there, but I mean, at least they have a good starting point with him. FlyQuest, Avali, you really don't need anybody else there, and she's already proven her worth. TSM, no point in talking about, they're going away. Dignitas, I don't think any point in talking about because they've already been reported to be looking to sell. Immortals, if you could find a Great Lakes content creator that's also an Immortals fan, that would be nice, but I think the odds of that are slim. Plus, I'm not sure what the state of Immortals is like right now. I don't know if they're part of that list of teams to sell, and given that there's really no match, I think I'll pass on that one for now. Golden Guardians, I think you could do the name and crew because there's enough fans of Golden Guardians in there. But even then, they're majority player. I don't think they're team, so I'm not 100% sold on that idea. I just think Anero is probably going to be your best bet when he can do it, assuming he's still part of the org or face of it. But also, I don't know. 100 Thieves? No, seriously though, I think what would be brilliant for them, I know they don't have the time as much anymore, but maybe if 100 Thieves could add some sort of financial incentive to it, is get Jordan and Cole to live or co-stream the games. They're two of the best people to talk about 100 Thieves. They've been with the organization since the jump for the LCS. You know they're going to be watching the games anyways. I know they took time away to watch with their families, which is why I don't think they don't have to do the podcast at that point, but like, if 100 Thieves games are on and they can do it, I think they are the two guys. It would be a great way to reintroduce them after they've had some time away if they're willing to do it. The lack of good answers that I've had during this entire bit of talking about this, honestly, is just making me realize how little fans of actual teams that there are in League of Legends. And it's the reason why these personality-led orgs work, because the ERL system works great in Europe because you can tie regional pride to that. It's something that they're used to, something that, quite frankly, is ingrained in their culture. In North America specifically, we're too diverse. Every area is too different, and unless you start pairing with the college programs, which I hope happens, but you lack that regional pride here. But one thing that we do have is just like influencer and clout culture to the fullest, which is why these influencer-led orgs can do great things. The question is, how do you get the tier 1 of League of Legends to work like that? Because none of these orgs, via Tyler 1, Disguised Toast, Moist, anyone, none of them can afford the LCS right now. So do you just wait for the LCS to drop that low in value for them to get in? Or what can LCS teams do differently? Well, I know what I mean? That right there. Those are the people that we idolize the most in this country, or that people follow the absolute most. It's the flagship billboard here in Times Square at the moment as Hulu releases their new season. That's the culture we have here in North America, and that's why influencer-led orgs are crushing it in Valorant, why I think they could crush it in League of Legends. We just have to figure out how to funnel that up then to the LCS. How do we make fans of Disguised Toast, of Mogul, of all these people that hopefully they'll be introducing into the League of Legends scene? How do we get them to be into the LCS? Other than just the LCS product itself, selling it on them, which that has its own complications. I don't have the answer. I'm just gonna keep talking about things that I find relevant, but I'll turn the question to you all. What do you think of these influencer-led orgs? Do they entertain you guys? Because I know most of my subscriber base, at least, probably has their teams in the LCS and has been for a while, but does this pique your interest? Does that make you want to watch NACL more? And is there a creator that could get into NACL that would make you watch it more? If that's not Disguised Toast, who is it? Who's that person that would flip the switch for you? Let me know. Be sure to like and subscribe if you like this video. And I think I've got a fun one possibly coming out on Wednesday, so long as the players don't strike. We'll see. I'll keep you posted.
Yeah, I'm like, I was like, yeah.